Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Okay. Well, today's topic is about step parents versus brother husbands and perhaps sister wives. Okay. I'm a woman, so I'm going to speak on brother husbands. Okay. If I was a man, then I could speak on sister wives, you know. But my experience will be coming from the brother husband versus stepfather type experience. Okay. All right. So we live in a world that claims this is what we, the world, claim. We claim that monogamous is the way. That's the way, that's the way, that's the way. Most of us do not live that way, though. Most of us do not live monogamously. We just don't. Whether you're a man or a woman, most of us have not had one partner our entire life. To me, that's what monogamy is. You have one partner your entire life. Most of us are not that. After that is some type of poly, whether it's polygamy with an N in there, polygamy with an M, polyamory, polyandry, you know, poly. I'll just say poly. Each of those type of polys are different, but at the end of the day, each one of those mean that you have not had one partner your entire life at the end of the day. So, based on what I just described, whether right or wrong, whether you agree or disagree, what I just described is based on my observation, my opinion, based on what I read in the Bible, and based on what I actually see us, the world, people of the world, how we actually live. Based on my experience during my second marriage, the only experience I have to speak from is when I opened up, not me, but my husband, my ex husband, and I, we opened up our marriage in the year of 2012, 2012, 2011, 2012. We opened up our marriage. So from 20, let's say 12, up through 2020, when he left me for another woman, um, we lived that way. It was open, you know. On my side, it was honesty, honesty, honesty. On his side was secretive. And that's how he ended up secretly leaving me for someone else and marrying that person. Okay, so based on my experience, I believe that step parenting, which usually means to me, step parenting means that the previous relationship ended and now there's someone new on board and there is no real relationship between the new person and previous people. There's no real relationship, no, you know, no relationship of any real kind, you know. Whereas sister wives and brother husbands are people that are, I guess you could say, added on to, let's say, the original relationship. And usually there's some type of relationship between all involved, not necessarily sexual. Just because two men, in my case, I'm just speaking from a woman's perspective. Men can speak from their perspective. In their case, they would say, two women, all the women in their life. In my case, during that isolated time, which now I date no one for two reasons. I date no one now currently for two reasons. The first reason is because according to society, I'm not wanted anyway. Okay, so that's the first reason. I'm not wanted anyway, so cool. And the second reason is I choose not to be involved anymore. And that's just my choice. Unless it's a married couple. I'm into couples, you know. But currently, for the past 2 years, I haven't been into anybody. Taking a break. You hear me? And this break may be until my last breath. I'm 55, and one way or another, I've been dealing with men for 50 years. You know, I was a molested child, so men touching me started at age 5 and hasn't really stopped since. You know what I mean? So until 2 years ago when I decided, you know what, let me just stop. Let me just stop, you know. And when I say that nobody wants me, I mean, of course people want to have sex. Sex is easy to get, no matter how you look, no matter your age, no matter, sex is sex. But when I say don't want me anymore, I mean that we live in a time where being married, and I'm not even limiting marriage to legal. I'm not even talking about just legal marriage, okay? People do not view sex as marriage anymore. To me, sex is the beginning of marriage. It starts right there, you know. Even when you're legally married, they'll say, "Is it consummated?" You know what I'm trying to say? That's how important sex is, even without the legal paperwork, with or without it, you know. So, but anyway, based on my experience, it's better for women when men can accept that they are not the only one. When men accept that they are not the only one, you're not her first, and you're probably not her last, and that whoever's in her life, if you choose to be in her life, you may have to communicate with, work with, get along with the other men in her life. If she's had previous husbands, previous baby daddies, previous relationships where they're still, involved, even if sex is not on the table, this is not limited to sex. You know what I'm saying, guys? So life is better for women when the men can lead the way. Lead the way. Be men, you know, accept their own choices. If you're a man, you're attracted to a woman, you quote unquote want her. You're you want her. Whatever she is, whatever makes her is her. And a part of her, she came here with two parents, probably some siblings, a family. She may have some exes, she may have kids. I mean, this is who she is. Once you choose her, this is what you got. And I believe that it makes a woman's life more fulfilling and easier and smoother when the men in her life can all work together, including her own father, including her brothers. If you're her husband, her lover, or whatever, I mean, don't it make sense to get along with her parents? Don't it make sense to get along with her family, her brothers, other men in her life? Not even just ex husbands or baby daddies, not even limited to those people. Any man in a woman's life, if you're the new person, it's smart for you to get along with these people. If you want her, if you want her. Now, if you don't want her, then that's different. Then just leave her alone. Leave her alone. Some other man can do the job. Trust, they can. But I understand we live in a world where each man, you know, wants to, I don't know why they want to deceive themselves into thinking that they're the only man that matters in a woman's life. It's deception. No one man is enough. No one man is enough. Every woman, if she's blessed enough, has a father, brothers, cousins, other people, may have dated somebody else, may have had a previous husband, you know, other men that care, other men that contribute to her in ways that you don't. No one man is enough for any woman. Just like men feel that one woman is not enough, which makes sense. I mean, you were born with a mom, and if you're blessed, you have sisters, other women in your family that have taught you, that have proved you, whatever. And you may have previous wives and previous baby mamas and whatever. And you need all these women still to keep your life going. Completely understandable. So, step parents. When step parents come on the scene, it's almost as if they want to be the only one that matters. Everybody else, all the other men in a woman's life, has to fade out. Sometimes including her own father, brothers, her bloodline got to fade out. And of course, anybody from her past has to fade out. You know, an ex-husband, ex-lovers and all that kind of stuff, they got to be gone. Or he feel like he cannot be the lead, the man that he is because of other men. It's not because of her, it's the other men that causes him to feel like he can't be the man that he believe he is. This is just based on my experience, you know, very limited experience. But I'm also basing it on other people that I've seen, noticed. I'm also basing it on, research and all kind of stuff, you know. So women do better when they have more people in their life, more support to keep them lift up because men change their minds a lot. Lovers change their mind. A woman can say or do something that can cause a man to just up and go. But if you isolated her and you're the only man that has mattered for the past couple of years in her life, and then you're up and gone, then what is she supposed to do? Just drop while you laugh? The world laugh at women today. You know, women with no support are laughed at and mocked. But yet, the average man out here wants a woman to strip herself of all other men and focus on him, knowing that he's not considered permanent. You know you temporary. So why even expect a woman to drop her whole world to focus on you when you know that you'll leave her like that? So I encourage women to keep everybody in your life. Keep everybody in your life because these relationships do not last long enough for you to sacrifice all other men in your life for one. Keep your dad, keep your brothers, keep your, any good men around in your life. Keep them around. Previous relationships, keep them around if you can. If you can. I'm a woman today who did not keep previous relationships. And my husband, after over 20 years, left me, secretly left me for somebody else and married them. And I don't have anyone to pull off of, anyone to refer to. I let him isolate me like that. And even though we had an open marriage, I didn't really use the open marriage in a way to, like, you know, I didn't use it the way I could have, where I would set up myself with other lovers and partners and all that. Because I didn't start out that way. The marriage did not start out that way. I was not raised that way. Even though, people were doing whatever they were doing anyway. But you know how we say one thing, we preach monogamy, but no one lives it. We preach it, but no one lives it. So what if we just let the concept go and just live what we live? And if we happen to be monogamous, if someone happened to be monogamous, great. But monogamy is not the norm. It's the standard, but it's not the norm. And I'm not saying that the standard should change because the people, you know, won't rise up to the occasion, so to speak. I'm not saying that. But when you read the Bible, it doesn't even imply that monogamy is expected. There are a few scriptures that may sound like it, but when you really read it, that's not what it's saying. There may be leaders like bishops and different type of folks in leadership. It may be recommended that they have just one wife. But I think for the common man, the average man, I don't see how he can afford to. I don't see how the average man can afford to just depend on one woman. Men need their mothers, they need their sisters, they need women around them. They really do. Just as we women, we need our men that around us. We need men around us. Period. The more the merrier. So again, step parents tend to isolate their partners mostly for financial gain. Step parents, the isolation is for financial gain. And the way the laws are set up, instead of that father leaving an inheritance for his kids, usually that money, the inheritance that is biblically allocated to your offspring, end up going to a step parent. You know, brother husband situations. To me, are more beneficial to women, brother husbands, men that know how to work with the other men in the woman's life to make sure that the kids get the wealth transfer. There's supposed to be a generational wealth transfer. Each generation is to hand over wealth to the next generation. Step parents tend to come and steal that money and run off. Usually they do not share it, any type of wealth, with the kids. And to me, that goes against God, that goes against your children. It's just step parents, it's just a legal way to keep the kingdom broke, bankrupt. I like the way the Bible did multiple marriages. The Bible did it in a way where all women are provided for, accounted for, claimed, and provided for, and all children involved were left some type of inheritance. There was no quote unquote division, subtraction. It's all multiplication, you know, adding on to. So that's one way to kind of gauge if you're in a positive situation or not. Are you multiplying and being fruitful among your offspring? Is your wealth successfully transferring to the next generation? And if you have adults, grown people, hovering around your children's inheritance, then that's how you know there's some type of step parent. You know what I mean? Versus a brother husband or a sister wife. Brother husbands and sister wives are there to make sure that the children involved benefit. It don't mean that the adults can't, do anything for each other. No, I'm not saying that. But usually in step parent situations, the step parent end up with all the benefits and the kids end up with nothing. And that is not biblical at all. And it requires a lot of honesty and mature thinking, divine thinking, biblical thinking, and being able to discern law, the laws of the land, which laws benefit the family and which laws are stealing from the family. All laws of the land do not reflect biblical principles, do not necessarily reflect divine principles. Some laws of the land do, but there are a lot that do not. And that's where we need to use our discernment. Some laws are forced on everybody, and then other laws are just there to keep us from, killing each other, you know. So just something to think about, you know. It goes both ways. Men need all the support they can get in life. Women need all the support they can get in life. And it's not a competition. There's no competition out there. It's all about working together and making sure that all children involved get what they're supposed to get biblically and per God. So again, I encourage men to learn to work more together and stop being so independent and using fake monogamy to really steal from your offspring, really. The more isolated a woman, a mother is, really you're taking away from your own kids. It kind of shows just how possibly, how selfish you are, self centered, not a team player kind of thing. And again, what I'm saying can be applied for sister wives. If you're a man, if you're a man and you're trying to, you know, build your life in a way where you actually leave something for your kids to chew on. I mean, like a business, legacy, you know, life insurance policy, some type of, financial wealth, whatever, you know, something that you have to, guard your whole life to make sure that no one comes along and steal it. Like the government, step parents, things like that. You know, pay attention to the laws of the land. Pay attention to the people that you sleep with. These are the people that you have to worry about, the systems that will take away from your kids. So that's it, guys. Just want to share that, something that popped in my head based on my experience and just seeing what we're going through today as a nation. As a nation, we need to unite at home. Start at home, unite at home. Look around your own household and see how you can gain more support. The more adult support, the better. I know we're taught to mind our own business and, have your own, be independent, stay to yourself, and don't trust nobody and all this kind of stuff. I get all that. I get that. But all of that truly works against us. It works against us. And it keeps us vulnerable and easily disposable. It's easy to get rid of somebody that stands alone, you know? So, yeah, I challenge men to open themselves up a little bit more, feel a little more secure within them own selves, their own plans in life, where they don't have to, control and limit the women in their lives, you know, limit their opportunities. All right, guys, click like, subscribe, share my videos. I have like what 5,300 videos on here now. Knock yourself out. Just watch them, one video after another. Click like and subscribe and share. Hit that notification bell. And you all have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.